Yeah. They tell you what we're up against?
Something about some psycho assassins?
We're outside the law on this one. So if you come with us, you're a wanted man.
Yeah, well, what else is new?
Well, Grandma, what did you think of Captain America Civil War? Which, as the title might indicate, finds Captain America, Iron Man, and most of the Avengers sort of torn apart by an international attempt to regulate the Avengers and their activities, yes. And yet they find themselves also mixed up with various bad guys and other things. So what did you think?
I thought it was very, very well done. Extremely well done. The movie makers knew what they were doing and they did it well.
I think that's actually a good way of putting it. They knew what they were doing and they did it well.
They did it well. The premise I thought was interesting. We often see in adventure films that there is a lot of collateral damage. And I sometimes wonder about, okay, what happened to all those bystanders that were just walking down the streets, you know, and when all of this chaos happens.
And in fact, you have commented on it in
Yes,
several of our reviews.
Well, and here, the Avengers are brought face to face with the collateral damage that some of their adventures, done in good faith and carried out faithfully, and they rescued a lot of people.
They're just trying to help.
However, in the rescue efforts, there are some people killed, some people damaged, much damage done to property and so forth. And the United Nations decides they're going to try to control this, okay? We value the Avengers and all of these humans with the superpowers that help us out, you know, just ordinary humans, but we need to have some control over that.
But as the saying...
The idea was good, but it doesn't...
As the saying goes, easier said than done.
However, as the plot progresses and the Avengers are split on whether they can accept this or not, more than just accepting the Accords, as it is called, the United Nations Agreement, they discover some personal conflicts that they weren't aware of before this division of the group, the Avengers, occurs. And our two main characters, Captain America and the Iron Man, Tony Stark, they are on opposite sides of this division, and they can't convince the other person that they're right. So the Avengers team that we are so used to seeing and cheering for and appreciating in their superpowers and how helpful they are to us ordinary humans, now they're not. Those superpowers are being used against another Avenger who just didn't agree, and the personal problems that are uncovered.
And thus the Civil War.
I thought it progressed quite well. You know, they were very, very clear about what the conflict was, the Civil War was, among all of the Avengers, but particularly of our Avenger leaders, those two. I thought it was very gripping. I know it's gotten positive reviews from almost everyone, and I'll have to add my voice to that, because I thought it was wonderful. What did you think?
I thought it was very good. Again, I think we started off...
You said very good.
Yes.
You said very, very good.
Yes, it was very good. Again, I think that we started off saying really the essence of the film is, again, you had some people who really knew what they were doing in terms of making this film,
And they did it well.
and they did it well. Again, it's a sort of a large, very large cast, sort of sprawling in a way, in that it covers a lot of different countries. It goes all over the world, and yet it really is all held together very well. I mean, it's very cohesive. The story, it flows very well. Again, I don't know that there's anything that anybody could change about it. Again, I think that everything, every scene was necessary. There's nothing that's wasted in this film. Again, the actors are all very good. Again, they've brought together quite a few characters, and they've all again been developed over several different movies. And again, they brought in Ant-Man. They brought in
even included Ant-Man. I was happy about that.
Again, yeah, some of the additions, like again, Ant-Man and Spider-Man especially, were really good. I mean, they brought a little humor to it. I mean, there was humor in it already, but they brought a little special brand of humor that, again, they both have of their own, which was really well done. And so again, all the acting was really good, and again, the writing was very brisk, to the point. Again, it didn't waste any time, and it just was, again, it's another one of these movies where you don't know how it's going to end. You're just sort of going from scene to scene. Just you can't wait to see what's going to happen next.
That's right.
And again, I thought it was just very well done.
And as you would expect, the special effects were fabulous.
Well,
They did everything to tell the story,
yes.
as if it were the actual fact.
Well, that's
You believe
maybe
it.
an
You
interesting way of putting it. Again, these are all the special effects that they use are all sort of very believable special
Yes.
effects. This film, it sort of took out a lot of the sort of the fantasy elements that have been in some of the other superhero movies. Again, there's no aliens, there's no monsters, there's none of that sort of stuff. It's all real people doing real things. Now, of course, they have some special powers and things like that, but again, they're doing real things. They don't have some sort of it's not a sort of strange fantasy elements. It's all, the special effects are all real. They're throwing around real things. They're doing real things to each other. Trying to hurt each other and stop each other and do things like that. I mean, much like every one of these sort of films, you sort of wonder where it's going next. I mean, it's sort of, the movie ends, but it hasn't really ended, in that it's sort of, it's not a cliffhanger. It's just that these characters continue on, their story continues,
Well,
and you wonder what's.
They're going to have more adventures.
They are, yes,
And they are going to have more adventures as the Avengers.
yes, and you wonder what's going to happen. You're looking forward to that.
And I think the movie makers intended that, and they
Well, of
did a
course.
very good job of preparing us for, they're going to have another Avengers movie. Yes.
Well, again, I would definitely recommend it.
Two thumbs up.
It's very good.
Very, very good, and very enjoyable way to spend time at the movies. Was very good.
Yes, definitely.
We do agree.
Of course, we agree quite often, actually.
Actually, we do.
Yes, we do. And this time too.